Hey guys, SickMotion here again, doing another patch note, personal review of it. Let's see what they changed in this one here. I actually went through and read the patch notes this time, so it'll be a little bit smoother, hopefully. They have the new client that's been being tested and being shown on PBE for quite some time now. If you've seen my stream of me playing on the PBE, you would have seen this client already, or if you have access on your own. I'm not still too sure if I like it more than the other one. It looks like there's just too much going on to me, but probably get used to it over a while. I do like the new loading and patching screen, how it's all condensed into one bar now. That's a lot that's a lot smarter rather than having it be almost done and then you're just kidding, you still have like 5 more bars you have to go through. But the champion changes. Alistar is crazy now. Everyone plays him, gets banned a lot. His headbutt, you used to be able to actually headbutt them and queue up an auto attack, and they'd be CC'd and they'd be flying away from you, but you could punch them. Even though you're kind of out of auto attack range visually, but you could punch them because you started punching before they started flying. Technically, I guess that you can't do that anymore, so that makes his punch back and combo with the Sheen auto a lot less oppressive in lane. Guess there was a bug where abilities that give true sight of enemy champions would reveal stealth wards under certain circumstances. That's with Caitlyn and a few other champions, so I guess that's getting fixed. There's a Fiddlesticks bug. I don't play Fiddlesticks. I never would have known that. I guess a couple damage ticks of his drain was getting taken off. So I guess the quality of life changes they did there should stop that bug from happening. Graves got buffed a while ago. His tooltip didn't get buffed for one of the activations of his ult's damage, so that's fixed. Gnar, a lot of people ask me if I like Gnar. I say I want to like him. I just don't know if I do yet. Maybe this will help. 2 extra health per 5. That's basically like taking the 2 health per 5 masteries for free. So that's a nice little buff there. The big Gnar not getting bonus health immediately. It's a lot of health, but if it doesn't happen, it's like ulting on Renekton, but ulting too late, you die because you don't get the extra health. Boomerang, a lot of quality of life things, bigger width going out and in, and it's sped up a little, so all quality of life's there. Faster boulder, bigger boulder, you can pick the boulder up faster. So all quality of life things. Yeah, I guess there was bugs where they could cast while they were stunned, so just more quality of life things. And AP, don't do AP NAR, but you can now. I guess if you build like a Trinity Force or whatever item that you have that just has random AP on it, you get a little bit of bonus out of it. And you now unstun yourself 0.1 second faster with his ult, so that's good. I don't know if I like Nar yet. Maybe I'll try him again now that his stuff's all kind of fixed around. We'll see. More of that stealth ward getting revealed bug with Caitlyn and Lee Sin now. Rumble had quite a few bugs that got fixed, which is nice. Um, this way, I think it was working in if you cast spells too quickly after being above 50 heat, they wouldn't be in bonus, but if you cast them quickly after dropping below 50, you'd still get the bonus. That's what I'm getting out of it, I'm not sure. But it seems like it's just making everything work more as intended. That basic attack canceling if in the middle while overheating. That's nice that they fixed that. Nice that they fixed that you wouldn't receive the overheat damage bonus. Just all quality of life things, and then I guess the super duper skin had a bug with it, so that's fixed. Oh, and this is the one I noticed. Too hot to hide. Fixed the bug where Rumble wouldn't fade out when you entered a bush. So you'd feel like you were standing in the bush, but sometimes you know when you can stand in the bush but not really be in the bush because you're like too far to one side of it. Felt like I was always doing that because your character actual model wouldn't fade out like you do when you're in a bush. That was a really annoying thing for me. Fixed a bug where Flame Breath was dealing additional 20 damage at rank 1, so now it actually does as much damage. It always felt like it did no damage anyway, so now it was actually doing bonus damage. I'm kind of sad about that. Now it's gonna feel like it doesn't hit at all. Just more quality of life lining up things. Sivir's Boomerang Blade now deals damage at the edge of the projectile rather than the center. And more of the site ward getting more bugs being fixed. It seems just like more of a patch to tidy up a lot of extra bugs because I think this might be the patch that they're going into Worlds with. Is the thing. Here's a champion you never see anyone play or talk about or even care about. It's Urgot. Basic missile speed increased. That's going to be good. Although it could be worse, his attack speed's really slow. Well, it was really slow, and his attack range is really low. So he used to be able to get onto the tower, throw an auto attack off, and then get out of tower range before it hit. But with that more that faster projectile speed, that might hurt that actually. The Acid Hunter, now refunding half the mana cost if it kills an enemy, is obviously not as effective with champions. You don't really care at that point. I guess it could help in certain situations, but farming from afar, if you need to use your Q to farm, now you can get half the mana back, which is going to be really awesome. I think that'll be cool. And there was a bug where Acid Hunter would fail to home if it was fired too quickly after applying the homing charge to it. I've oddly enough played Urgot a few times and had that happen, so it's nice that they're fixing that. And his ult just got buffed all around. Cooldown reduction buff as you level it. Mana cost reduced. 120 was huge. It's painful to use. And you now ignore unit collision, which is good, and you gain your resistances immediately. So just all around buffs to Urgot. I don't know if anyone's going to even remember he's a champion after this patch still, but step in the right direction. There was a bug with support Xerath where his W was proccing the Spell Thief damage twice. Never even realized that. New splash arts for Shyvana and Vayne, that's been out for a while, I think. Banner of Command wasn't affecting Tibbers, so if for whatever reason you had those with an Annie. Don't let us prevent you from being inefficient with your unique passives. So now you deal 200% damage to the initial target if you have a Trinity Force and an Iceborne rather than 150, and you still do the 125 to surrounding targets. Don't buy those two items at once, just choose one. Essence Reaver got overall buffed. It got 200 gold off the total cost. Still doing the 80 AD, 10% lifesteal, and 10% CDR. The only reason I'd ever buy that item wasn't for the mana restore passive, because you just get it too late. The item costs too much for the mana restore passive to be helping you at that point. I liked it just because it gave a 80 AD item with lifesteal and CDR. I like that for characters like Jace, Ezreal, where you want actual CDR. Twin Shadows, the spooky ghosts would not path correctly into bushes, so they're more spooky now, I guess. This was hilarious. This is one of the biggest changes on the patch that a lot of people didn't even realize was a thing. Item purchases, sales, and undos while you're dead will no longer be visible to opponents who had visions of your corpse. If you held tab and you had vision of that person's corpse when they spawned, or even if they bought while dead, you could see what items they were going to come to lane with. Which a lot of people always commented on me not buying items until I spawned. They're like, why don't you buy the items earlier? Because there's a lot of times I'd wait, and that was the reason, because the person could see your items if they had vision of your corpse. So it just turned into a habit from there. So I might still do it now that it's fixed, just because I built a habit out of it. But you could actually tell the person, or tell what items they're going to be coming back to lane with, which was kind of funny. There used to be a bug right at the beginning of the season when if you mouse over your ward, if you have a ward trinket, it'll tell you how many wards you have placed. You used to be able to mouse over the opponent's trinkets, and it would tell you how many ward that person had placed. So if you knew they hadn't bought a ward yet, say that it was just their initial walk into lane, you could tell if they had a ward down or not. It was totally unintended, but a lot of people knew about it by the end. A bunch of twisted treeline things, Dominion things that just confuses me if I try to think about it. So they're adding a new rank, the Master tier. So in between Diamond 1 and Challenger. I think it's going to be a really good idea. Right now, one of the problems with getting to Challenger is basically the league system seems to work everywhere up until the high tiers of Diamond 1, where, say, if you're winning more than 50% of your games, you'll always go up. At the higher tiers of Diamond 1, you're gaining usually around 3 to 6 and losing around 3 to 6. Sometimes it's 2. It's usually never 6. It's usually 3 to 5, but they can go to the radical sides. Once you get up to like 95 plus points, you're usually only gaining 2 to 1 points, but you're still losing 3 if you lose. So you really have to kind of get lucky and win a couple in a row. And then to get promoted into your actual Challenger promotions from 99 LP, you can have 99 LP and gain 0, but if you lose, you'll lose 3. So it gets frustrating at that point. Because once you go down to 96, you could still get back up and still get higher MMR than you were last time you were there. But if you have a downward spiral, or if you just go 50-50, which the matchmaking is set up to do, give equal chance for each team to win, then you're kind of out of luck. But the way you had to get in to get to the promotion series is you had to wait for someone in Challenger who wasn't immune to have lower MMR than you. So maybe you had higher MMR than the first 100 people, but if the first 100 people are all immune because they got into Challenger recently, then that doesn't matter. You have to beat the person who has like 400 LP in Challenger and probably has decently high MMR. Now you have to get that high to even get promoted into your promotion series, and then you have to win the promotion series. So it became less a game of just trying to win as much as you can, more of a game of refreshing the ladder, seeing when some lower ranked players would go unimmune, and then trying to win your game at that point because you'd have to play a lot less games to get into your promotion series. It was just a really bad system. So now with the master system, I think that'll kind of alleviate that, where you can get into just below Challenger, get out of Diamond 1, get into the Master tier, and then they refresh the Challenger ladder every 24 hours. So there's not going to be any immunity there, and it's going to be less of a kind of a guessing, waiting, and planning game to get in, and more of a just play, and if you do well, you'll be there. So I think that's really cool. They made quality of life, frame rate improvements. That's good. A bunch of bug fixes. The Pantheon Grand Skyfall enemy Pantheons would show as a friendly ult when they came in. So sometimes if I was tired or not paying attention, I'd be like, oh, our Pantheon's ulting. Oh, wait, that's their Pantheon. I'm dead. Rengar, if he dies while ulting, no longer shows the exclamation mark above the enemy's heads because he's no longer a threat. He's dead. Living Shadow now displays the correct amount of bonus AD granted, even if the skill hasn't been leveled up yet. Particles for Nocturne's Qs no longer obscure other particle effects. Just a bunch of little bug fixes. Katrina Shampoo no longer benefits from spell vamp on wards despite doing no damage. Didn't even realize that was a thing. And status text for crowd control effects no longer overlap when multiple CCs are applied at the same time. Just a bunch of little bug fixes. And then all the skins coming out are pretty cool. Yasuo has a new voice. Caitlyn looks like she's from the future. And the final boss Vigar skin, all really cool. I've seen them all on PBE already. So those will be fun. But other than that, those are I think the master tier is one of the main things out of this patch that I'm looking forward to. But other than that, those are my thoughts on the patch, guys. Thank you for listening, and hopefully I'll see you on stream sometime.